Hello, Lifecyclers. We're excited to introduce our assessment module to our platform of QBR reporting tools. Why assessment? Well, as an MSP, we believe that there are best and often critical products, policies, and practices that our clients should utilize to increase IT security and stability and to maximize their profitability. So helping their bottom line improves your bottom line. And the best way for you to help them is to be able to assess any risks, exposures, or areas in need of improvement. That is why assessment. Because each industry has a unique set of best practices and each MSP has its own preferred stack, our assessment tool offers a great deal of power and flexibility. So this guided tour is designed to help you customize the creation of your assessments so that you can get the quick insights and actionable reporting you need to share with your clients. In this walkthrough, we will learn to 1. Build items. These are the specific statements that you'll want to score for your client's assessments. 2. Import, revise, or build templates. A template is built by creating categories and assigning items to those categories. You can have multiple templates or a single template that can be used for every client, or even modified for each client. 3. Then we will turn an assessment template into an actual assessment event. From here, we will also define our item scoring, our color cuts for risk levels and event types to ensure we get the desired reporting. And 4, of course, the reason we do this is to deliver reporting to our clients so we can help them minimize risk. So we'll take a look at reporting. And we're actually going to start with reporting with the end in mind. Before I head to the Assessments tab, I can see right on the dashboard a tile representing my client's latest assessment. I can see that the client is green, which is good, but still has a couple at-risk and needs attention items. Let's see why that is. Clicking into Assessments, I see two options, and I want to look at the analytics. Right away, I see a comparison summary of the assessments I have given. They were yellow with a 60 when I gave the baseline. We addressed some of their at-risk items and are moving in the right direction. Also, I can see results from their one-off mini policy and procedures assessment we did in December. We actually did that at year-end for all our clients to help them review their practices and gave suggestions based on our findings. That quick assessment alone engaged many clients in a conversation. But for now, I just want to look at the baseline and comparison assessments, so I can click the Change button and hold the Shift key to choose them. Now I can quickly see the progress we've made since the first assessment. I get the overview by category to see the improvement and where we still have work. To dig in further, I will click into the Item Detail tab. Note this brings up the individual details from the last time an item was used on an assessment. Immediately I see the items that were not applicable, those colored gray. I could have chosen to not include them on the assessment, but I left them on in this case for demonstration purposes. It then reports the items by risk level, with the ones most at risk at the top, allowing you to quickly review their needs. If you want to print an individual assessment report, we can go to the event in the assessment menu page. I will dive into the assessment itself shortly, but for now, let's just click on the word Download to Print. I get some formatting options. I can change the template coloring, upload and add a logo, and decide if I want to print all of the categories. Here is where I will choose to not show those not applicable categories. I can download the report to print for my QBR. You do see an Add New Items tab, but let's hold on that for a minute and check out the Template tab, as we can give you a jump start. When you first start in the Assessment module, you'll see that your assessment template area is empty, and there is our default template available to preview or import. Let's first take a look at the default template to see if we want to import it. Click into the default template, and it shows this shared template. You can see it is populated with 6 categories, and when you expand all, you can see the items available to score in each category. If you decide that this has a lot of items that you might want to use, you'll want to import the template into your site. This will not only bring the full template over, but it will actually populate the items into your own item bank for your use on your own templates. The nice thing is that once the template and items are imported, you can edit and adjust at will. So I'm going to import this template into this demo site. Now that the template is imported, when we click into items, we see it is now populated with the default template items for our use. You will be able to search these and use on your own templates or customize the item globally or for a single event for an individual client. But before we add any new items, let's look at the default template and see what revisions we want to do there. First, I'll look at the categories and expand all. From here, I can choose to rearrange the categories if I want to prioritize differently, edit properties, which will allow you to weight the category if desired, remove a category altogether, or edit items inside the category. If I click to add or modify items, you can easily drag and drop items to add or remove them to the category or to rearrange. The magnifying glass next to each item will allow you to preview the item, which will let you know if you want to edit any items. In my review of the items, I ran across the acceptable use policy. You can see that there are currently 3 responses, 2 of which are satisfactory and 1 which is labeled at risk. For my MSP, I might prefer that a single never again to be updated acceptable use policy is unacceptable. So I want to edit my global response. That is the only item that I want to change, so I'm going to leave the template and now go edit that policy. In the Items tab, I can easily scroll or search for any item. When I click into the item, I have full edit rights. One note, only an admin can edit a global response. I could edit the one response by clicking the edit item, updating the color to acceptable risk or needs attention, and click Save. I could also add another response altogether. Maybe AUP has not been updated in over 2 years. I then choose to color that yellow and save my item as updated. If I have an item that I want to copy so that a portion of my clients use one version and the rest use another, I could just copy them, rename it, and edit the second version. I could also clone a single response for faster revisions. If we want to use an item as is, except for a one-off here and there, then we will edit that item on the individual client assessment, but leave the global response alone. So the last option for items is to create a brand new item, which starts by hitting the cleverly titled Add New Assessment Item button. From here, you will name your item. I'll call mine Offboarding Policy. And then I can add the individual points. No policy exists, that's red. A team member is assigned to control access using a checklist. An automated process that is kicked off by the last date removes access. I'll go back into my template and now add my offboarding item. Now I'm good to go. Before I go to the event, I'd like to point out that building a template from scratch looks just like editing a template, except that you will need to build your categories first. This is easily done by clicking the Add Categories button and then moving items from your item bank to the right. Now that we have our assessment template ready, we want to review our configuration options. Note that you will only need to do this step the first time you start to work on the assessment module. After that, it will be set unless you decide you want to change your cut scores. Let's look to see what configurations need to be set. After we click on Configuration in the left-hand navigation menu, you will see 3 tabs: Event Types, Event Cut Scores, and Item Cut Scores. We have created 4 default event types that you might consider using. Baseline for the first time you assess a client, Comparison so that we can track their progress, One-Off because those always come up, Pre-sales, this would be used for a prospect as a sales tool. Feel free to add, edit, or delete at will. Next, under the Event Cut Scores, you will choose what assessment score color cuts should be. We have preset them with stoplight coloring red, yellow, and green with cuts at 50 and 80. But you can edit those or add additional cuts or scores or change the names. One quick reminder is that these cuts are for the overall assessment. That is important because next we'll set the item scores. These score options give you the edit rights to how each item gets scored. we have preset each item to be worth a max of 3 points. So each color needs to be set at some portion of those 3 points. One exception is that you can see that our 2 gray options, not applicable and unknown, are currently 0 out of 0 points. This way they will not impact the overall scoring, as the assessment is scored as a total of points earned out of points possible. That said, if you feel that unknown is a risky situation, you could change the points to 0 out of 3 and change the color if you want. These will be used to score all items, so you set this once and you're finished unless you decide to tweak later. Remember that on the template, each item has a weighting, as does each category. So if you want backup recovery system, for example, to have more weight in the overall assessment, you will adjust there. And now you're ready to assess your client. Be sure you have the client you want to assess in the client picker and choose the assessment in the top portion of the left-hand nav. Choose the template you want to use, the assessor, assessment type, and date. At this point, I can enter some comments or go right into scoring. The assessment itself is very fast to score, as you have already done the setup work. After talking with MSPs, we have certainly learned that there are often arguments for one-off situations that require customization, so we've tried to accommodate. You can add or edit a response, and if you do, you will be given the option to assign that edit to the client or just this event for this client. If you're an admin, you can adjust the item in the item bank to have it impact the item globally. You will note that as you begin to enter responses, you will see the immediate score calculation, and the overall score and associated coloring populates on the assessment event page. We started this video with the reporting, which is available as soon as you have scored the form. We hope that you have found this helpful. We're excited about assessments. We're also excited that we're building out the ability to share templates with the community. This will include an approval process before allowing other MSPs to import into their site. If you have any questions, feel free to click the help button to send a ticket to support or email us at info@lifecycleinsights.io. As always, your feedback is welcomed and appreciated. If you have comments, questions, or complaints, please tell us. If you love what you see, we would greatly appreciate it if you would tell other MSPs or give us a shout out on social media. Thanks and happy life cycling.